In a village of the Kapaka tribe, dreams are being made. Dreams of disguise and transformation, where village men can be changed from plain subsistence farmers to splendid figures clad in the colors and plumes of heroes. They are dreaming too of their Tambul Sing Sing group winning first prize at the Goroka festival.
This is my first year at the festival. My name is Anda, and these are my friends Kome and Bena. They've been to Goroka many times before. I'm wearing a wig as the base for my headdress. Once it was stuffed with human hair, now it is filled with dry grass. At the Goroka festival, it will become a crown of brilliant plumage. Our headdress ornaments are prized possessions. We keep these feathers for generations. They come from birds of paradise, from small bright parrots or rosellas, and the black feathers come from the tail of the cassowary or the couscous bird. There were 25 of us chosen. We were limited. We could only afford one bus. The first prize is 3,000 kina. Bena is sure we will win, so we hope to bring the rich prize home. We will be traveling to Goroka through the Southern Highlands. The journey takes 3 hours in the bus.
From inland, from the coast, from all points of the compass, Sing Sing groups are journeying to the Goroka festival. Their pilgrimage takes them to the eastern highlands of Papua New Guinea, to the region they call the Mountains of Heaven.
We must stop along the way to collect the rare silver leaves we need for our headdress. These trees don't grow in our village. We've practiced for a long time. Today we sing a song about ourselves, about our special group, and how we hope the judges see that we deserve to win the first prize. It's the morning of the festival. It will take us 3 hours to prepare ourselves. This is how we looked in our days of tribal fighting. How we dressed for our ceremonies of payback. We bend the bark of a tree for our black. We crush it and wet it for painting. We become artists in our desire to create the face of a hero. The leaves and feathers of our costumes need to move in unison to give them the rhythms of bouncing, dancing life. The white coloring and ochre paint are different clays from the earth. We cook the orange clay until it turns red, while the yellow comes from a small plant called wandia that grows on the landslides. Our necklace is a shell cut and polished, clam or tortoise or mother of pearl. Every man in the village has such a shell. We are changing, transforming into warriors. We are now creatures of light and darkness. The natural oil we use shines the body. Such a shine would frighten the enemy or please the eyes of the judges. It's time now to join the other performers on the way to the festival. Benna says there are 80 groups this year. There is a feeling of excitement everywhere. At last, we have arrived. Here are the worlds of our traditions for everyone to see. I see the masks of animals and strange birds, and the movements of owls and warriors quivering to start the performance. I see dancers with fingers like swords, moving their hands with menace. I see pale frogs croaking and crickets making insect songs. Coated with clay like angry ghosts, the madmen of Asaro came out of the jungle in masks of mud and sent their terrified enemy scattering in retreat. I want our group to win, but I can share in the dreams of all the performers.
The Goroka Festival began in 1957. It has become an event celebrated for its color and pageantry and its huge display of authentic song and dance. This year there are over 1,600 performers. The Hagahai tribe were a lost people only recently discovered. This was their first appearance at Goroka, the first time they left their mountain home. They sang and danced like the birds of their forests. The judges are entering the showground. The performance is beginning.
We waited to hear the announcements.
Now me asking Deputy Premier Long Miplalo Eastern Highlands Province, Honorable Kasen Nahe long present him all checks along all Highlands region. One time Ken, we got two group Ken share him second prize. I'm lo Holy Hela long Southern Highlands. Na Kelua long Western Highlands.
So society, so committees, only recognize him or look several of kind.
In our Highlands division, there were 3 prizes. None of them were awarded to Gabanga.
You play in the second prize, but you play 1,000 kina.
We took off our feathers and paint in sadness. The fever of winning had died inside us. We took off our belts and our neck shells and returned them to our packages of dreams. We stripped ourselves back to ordinary men. But all the year, as we work in the gardens, we'll remember that for a short time, we knew how it felt to be gods and heroes.
was 1875, long before women had the vote, and Queen Victoria had just acquired a new colony, Fiji. Into this setting stepped the adventurous Miss Gordon Cumming. She had left the comfort of her aristocratic family home in Scotland to travel to Fiji as the companion of the wife of the first governor, Sir Arthur Hamilton Gordon. The redoubtable Scotswoman, always correctly dressed and accompanied by her Fijian chaperone Sala, soon became a familiar figure in that tropical outpost. She was already a well-known author and painter. Her journal, At Home in Fiji, reveals a shrewd, affectionate, but unsentimental observer. She tells tales of cannibal kings and barbaric customs, but also with a dry humor and a lively eye for detail, she evokes a vivid picture of life in the Pacific, as it was over a century ago.
The splendid peaks of Viti Levu were named by Captain Bligh in 1792. They remind me of my Scotland and the hills of Rothshire.
Miss Gordon Cumming was a woman of remarkable character and courage. Quietly defying convention, she chose adventure instead of domesticity, happily accepting for herself the dreaded term spinster. She could have been in great danger on many of her trips through Fiji, but considered the risks worthwhile.
I believe I have found a new fern. The Baron tells me he has collected on these islands upwards of 2,000 specimens of different ferns and vegetables. I intend to study the plant life here in detail.
In Victorian times, the corset was a symbol of the well-laced-up and repressed way of women's life. Miss Gordon Cumming abandoned her corset at the first sight of a jungle stream.
Sometimes I come across such irresistible pools. I just slip in and revel. We are not always burdened with bathing gowns.
Her journal was often written under the alien scrutiny of the somewhat fearsome local insect world. Did the intrepid Miss Gordon Cumming scream or faint like any Victorian lady? Certainly not. She actually treasured her spiders, lizards, and millipedes.
This place is just a sink of low fever, one case after another. I now regret I have to add the name of Dr. Cruikshank to those who have passed away in their prime. First, there was a plague of measles earlier this year, which ravaged the country. 40,000 Fijians have died, of a population of 120,000. I am treading where no white woman has trod before. I have been warned of possible danger. People come to see the pale-faced woman, Namarama Mbalavu, the long lady, was the title by which I was invariably described. To reach the shore, I had to be carried. A strong native took me up in his arms as if I were a big baby. We were invited to a kava ceremony, served from a giant wooden bowl into a coconut cup. The kava tasted like rhubarb and magnesia, flavoured with sal volatile. You can't imagine what the dancing was like. And some people think these Fijians are savages. The Fijians are, as you know, a mixed race, partly Polynesian, partly Melanesian. Whether they derived their first idea of pottery from their Melanesian ancestors and then improved on it is hard to say. You will be greatly impressed by the artistic beauty and immense variety of the forms produced. The pottery is made entirely by hand, nothing of the nature of a wheel being known. I am filled with wonder at the ingenuity of these people. Their only tools are stones, shells, and the sharp teeth of rats. I only wish it were possible to convey to you all the thousand details of beauty which give such light and gladness to this life I find so fascinating. Sailing through these islands has been one of the dreams of my life. To actually live here on islands where there are still a number of ferocious cannibals has a savour of romance, which, as you can imagine, does not entirely lack charm.
Miss Gordon Cumming was to discover the cannibals were not quite so charming. Her journals tell the story of these wild mountain men who in the next year attacked and burned Christian villages, eating many of the inhabitants. There was much more to Constance Gordon Cumming than her gentle ladylike exterior might suggest. She had the same insistence on personal freedom that would later inspire the women who would fight for a wider freedom, the suffragettes. When Miss Gordon Cumming finally died in Scotland in 1924, still writing at the age of 87, she had travelled through most of the known and unknown world. Her legacy of books and paintings tell the tale of a rich and exciting creative life.